Folks, welcome back. How's everybody doing today? So I had an interesting conversation. I want to sit back, relax, and have a chat with everybody. It's been a couple days, been working a lot behind the scenes, been focusing on doing inventory and a quarterly audit of my vintage old Magic cards, merging collections, just kind of updating some behind the scenes. I've been busy with that. But I actually today wanted to focus on an interesting conversation that I had, and an individual told me on the phone, he goes, Rudy, Magic 30th is the very first direct-to-consumer Wizards of the Coast has ever sold a randomized product in modern history. And that actually got me to sit back, and I went, I didn't think about that. This is the first time this Magic 30, this $1,000 plus tax, so this $1,100 for 4 packs, is the first product we've ever had that is a secret lair, but it's randomized. We've never had a new modern product in the last couple of years that has been direct to consumer. Now, the closest we've had was some of those mythic editions and kind of weird things where Wizards did like a special version of, War of the Spark or Ravnica or another one. That was a close thing they did, but it was kind of really bad. It was a thing for a hot minute and then nobody cares anymore. But this is the first complete product that has been sold direct to consumer in modern times. In other words, the first randomized secret lair, you can call it. And as I feel we continue to march forward, we can call it how we see it. No matter how we all feel, the higher-ups at Hasbro and Wizards essentially are slowly converting the Magic the Gathering world. They're trying to convert the Magic the Gathering world to this mainstream, celebrity-induced, different type of feel. And they want to bring it to the mainstream market by using like Amazon and selling direct to consumer. I don't believe the whole LGS and the community and the local game store, I don't think any of that matters to them anymore. I think they're very good at putting on a front. They're very good at, throw them a bone, keep them quiet. I think they're very good at kind of navigating it, but I do believe we are continuing a slow drift to a new era of direct to consumer. Wizards is just going to sell product direct on their own website and then sell product direct through Amazon. Simply put, I don't believe Wizards sees any use case for distribution, LGSs, any stores, anybody like me, anyone who has any form of store or selling. I don't believe 2020's data of shutting all those stores down. I think they're using that data as evidence and proof that they can move forward with more direct to consumer. I believe also that the continuing decline in Magic sales in draft, set, and collector boxes, and the market rejecting everything, is being covered up by an increased amount of secret lair, gimmicky items, Magic 30, so that their top line gross revenue does not show any serious declines. I think smart money in Wall Street is aware of this, is in talks with maybe smart people that could have weird hair like me, and I think they're aware of what's happening, and a lot of smart money has been making moves, or they're aware of why the stock went from 100 to 110 or a high of 120 a couple of years ago to, I think, was it 60 now? Let's just call it in half. And I think we are moving forward into a new market and era where eventually I do think, Magic is not going to look or feel the same. I believe that the corporate people of Wizards and Hasbro are so disconnected from the majority of their player base. Majority as in at least the 51% of the player base. It could be 70 or 80%, but let's just call it 51%. I think that Hasbro and Wizards believes things are perfect, booming, and everything's great. I believe a lot of the people who work at Wizards of the Coast internally are aware of the problems. I don't think we're going to see people like Mark Rosewater and a lot of other talking mouse or people that represent the face of the company. I don't think we're going to see them as public or as saying as much moving forward, because I think deep down they may or may not be happy or on board with what's happening. And I don't think these people have control. And I think a good kind of piece of evidence is all of the conversations, screenshots, and posts about Mark Rosewater now looking ridiculous by stating there'll never be another collector's edition, another proxy version. Are they ever going to reprint, reserve list cards? And then he claims no, Spirit of the reserve list, which we know doesn't mean anything. No, Mark Rosewater says they're never going to reprint collector's edition or any variants of that, even if it has Mark Rosewater even stated they wouldn't reprint reserve lists with a different card back. Like, it's in writing. Like, he even stated that. But it shows that it's not up to him. It shows that what he believes should be a certain way, he's becoming more and more irrelevant. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I don't know the guy personally, but this is what the data is showing us. But I do believe Wizards continues on this path where they want this certain public PR image of celebrities and people that are within their safety controllable zone to expand Magic's market share or their appeal to more groups, Transformers, different things, and different, Fortnites and all these. They believe that's the path forward for Magic. Now, old farts like me and old losers like me in my parents' basement, obviously we disagree. And obviously, I can tell you for a pretty hard fact, whether you like me or hate me, the market disagrees, because the market shows and votes with US dollars in the United States. And I think they vote sometimes with Dogecoin and dog money and kitty cat money, because, I don't know, we're in a weird time, everybody. Who knows? I don't understand all that. I'm not smart enough. And I think Wizards believes having football players and Post Malone and different people who are quote-unquote famous mainstream people, that's the direction of success. Now, all of these people seem very nice. I have nothing against any of them. I actually think that Post Malone guy, never met him, never talked to him, but he seems like a really nice, fun guy. But I don't really care about that. I'm focused more on the actual business aspect and what's going on. And the fact remains, stores, people like me, have reduced restocks and orders of Magic product the largest percentage in modern history. I can tell you, in the 7 years I've been on YouTube, in the last 6 months, I have reduced my exposure, reduced restocks to all new Magic by the largest amount I've ever done. And if I know that, and then I talk to a couple of the owners of distributors, and they say, yeah, we're just not restocking it. And I mean, if I call a distributor, and I call up the owner and say, hey, if I want 1,000 boxes of Streets at Capenna, and he says, sure, no problem. And I say, okay, normal price, whatever, sure. He says, well, Rudy, it's going to take 2 weeks. We got to order it from Wizards. I'm like, no, I want to get it now. He goes, well, we only keep 60 boxes on hand. And I'm like, when the distributors aren't carrying inventory risk, that speaks volumes. That tells me people like me aren't ordering. Stores are ordering a lot less. Distributors aren't sitting on the inventory. Therefore, the bottleneck is going all the way back up to the warehouse at Wizards, which again, as they stated in their Hasbro quarterly report, they have an inventory problem. Gee, what a fucking surprise. And of course, they blamed everybody because we're all price sensitive. And again, that really continues to be really, really bad take to blame everybody except the person creating the product on why their product isn't selling. If I make the Rudy CCG and nobody's buying it, and I say, well, it's because you all are price sensitives and terrible humans. Well, no, they're not. Why aren't you buying it? I would be more curious to say, hey, do I need to lower the price? Or do you just think the product sucks? Or if you think it sucks, what do you want me to do different? Like, I would be fishing for feedback. I would come to the market and say, I need a good sample size, not people who always I don't want yes mans and yes women. I want people who are going to tell me what's going on, whether they're being mean to me or nice to me. I want you to give it to me raw. No giggity. I see you in the back laughing. I want raw information. And I don't think Wizards is willing to do that. I think the boom of 2020 and all that, even when the country closed, helped propel Dr. Cox to the CEO of Hasbro, because the previous CEO passed away. May he rest in peace. He was a very good person. But I believe now that individual has a lot of biased data, which is continuing to cause a downward spiral. And unfortunately, I do not believe Wizards of the Coast possesses the ability to make any changes or thinks there's anything wrong, so there's no changes needed to be made. So because of that, I am continuing to be more cautious in the world of Magic. Now, that leads me to Brothers War. Brothers War is coming up. By the time you watch this video, the following Friday, pre-release weekend, I'm going to run my sale. If you're not aware, I've discontinued Brothers War draft boxes, discontinued Brothers War Jumpstart, discontinued Brothers War Commander, and so the only Brothers War product I'm carrying is now set boxes and collector boxes. So I'm going to run this sale and to the patrons and offer it to everybody and see what happens. And I'm going to base this decision on moving forward what I'm going to do with the new Phyrexia set in Q1 of next year. Now, I've reduced from Baldur's Gate's era from 8,000 set boxes to 4,000 on Dominaria. To this one, I have reduced to 1,800. So from 8,000 to 4,000 to 1,800. So even selling at whatever I sell, the set box ends up being, I don't know, a couple dollars off TCG Player with shipping and fees and everything concluded. If I can't even sell that at this level of reduction, we're going to have to take it a step further moving into 2023 and actually start to consider dropping the product line completely and waiting for only Amazon dumps or distributor dumps. And I sit back and wait, and then when that happens, I scoop it all up and then offer product to the patrons at a special price on clearance when things are sold at losses. We may have to be pivoting into 2023. Or, as people keep yelling and saying, Rudy, F it all, and will you just start selling out of print stuff? I keep getting that message, and no, I'm not committing to that yet. But yes, that is an option if we have to take a step back from new Magic completely. We have the inventory, we have the ability, and we have, obviously, inventory that is not 6 figures or 7 figures. We have 8 figures of inventory where we can operate for years selling older and older out-of-print stuff from the year 2013 all the way to 2019. And I know that's exciting a lot of people. And a lot of people are like, Rudy, hey, if that booster box of Ixalan's 150, if you just run sales of that, selling it for 139 shipped, bro, I'd like that better than buying new stuff that crashes. I keep getting tons of messages on that, but we are not there yet. And I am not anywhere ready to make that change, but it is something on the back burner depending on the direction of things. So that's where we're at. So I'm very excited to see how Brothers War comes to market here. I've watched some of these early box openings, and again, the stupid artifacts look beautiful. I love how the cards look. I still think the Transformers thing is just a fucking stupid thing. If you want Transformers, just put in a secret lair and sell it direct to market. I think shoving a random Optimus Prime and Rudy's X right in the middle of these really cool artifacts just seems forced and intentional and out of place. But I have to admit, the shattered glass purplish looking Transformer cards look really cool. But my concern is it just doesn't fit. That's all. You know, but anyways, I digress on that. But anyways, I still like the products. I know I've been very negative and harsh towards Wizards and everything going on, but I think Dominaria is a great set. I thought Infinity is a phenomenal set. I know I haven't been doing box openings because, like I told you, I've been focusing on behind the scenes, stabilizing, auditing inventory, moving things, getting pallets, organizing. I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes right now, trying to get some things taken care of. But, you know, these sets, you know, Brothers War looks great. I think it looks like a lot of fun. Those artifacts, the retro frame artifacts, just look fucking great, man. They're beautiful. Do I think the product's going to be successful at release? I do. How people are going to view Brothers War, release plus 90 days? I don't know. I don't know. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we continue our journey through this awful 2022 turbulent year with all asset classes getting completely punched in the face. And yes, I remain with the opinion that this is a year for people, players, collectors, and investors to navigate, build positions, accumulate, and to be in a mindset that you will not make money, but you will be in survival mode to make sure that you do not become insolvent so that you can live to fight another day and play the game of chess for 2023. And that is how I've been approaching and managing everything to make sure financial stability, solvency, and inventory levels continue to grow, and that things are going to continue to be ready to rock, moving to when things do stabilize and we start to have better market conditions. I want to go back to the beginning of this video before we cut it off, and that is I was thinking about that. I didn't really think about this is the first randomized booster pack item that Wizards is selling direct to market like this. Now, again, besides some little foo-foo-y mythic editions, a silly thing, but I consider this an actual complete different set. War of the Spark Mythic Edition was War of the Spark set with a couple different cards and just repackaged and really expensive. It wasn't a complete different product. This is the first kind of unique product, which is the Magic 30th $1,100 box, that's only being available direct from Papa Hasbro's corporate office. And I don't think anyone's putting much effort or thought into it right now, but I really think this is the first introduction of complete randomized sealed product that is going to be offered direct from Wizards into the future. And I know no one's going to remember this because people don't remember things like this, but my prediction is 2023 will have another randomized booster-related product that will be direct from corporate to consumer that will not be available through big box stores, distribution, LGS anywhere in the country. And I think that is part of the plan moving forward to help compensate the declining struggles in, regular standard Magic problems that they can't seem to understand why they come out, everybody buys it at launch, and then it just becomes pin drop radio silence. And Wizards does not seem to want to actually open the front door, walk outside, and say, hey, what the hell's going on? They don't want to do it. They don't want to walk out the door. They don't want to ask people. They just don't seem to want to do anything. And based on that assumption, we are going to have to continue to be very cautious. Again, I'm still keeping positions in all Magic product and new things, and I have position on Infinity, I have position Dominaria, and I'm not telling anyone to skip any products completely, but I have obviously reduced substantially. So to give you guys one last example, I have 3,000 boxes of the original Jumpstart because I'm all in on it, and I think it's an amazing product. I have 1,500 boxes of the original Commander Legends 1 draft booster box, literally sealed pallets, because I think it's one of the most beautifully engineered sealed randomized booster boxes in modern times at a phenomenally cheap price. And even today, it's out of print. You can buy Commander Legends 1 for like $125 a box. How the hell that's 120? Well, I do know because the market's shitty and everything's being penalized. So I am still investing in collecting and sealed product in Pokemon and Magic, sealed positions in MetaZoo, sealed positions in all whites. You guys see whites? Can you guys see sealed whites back there? And I am still keeping sealed positions in all these things. I haven't changed, but I'm being more cautious on it, especially with the pending next round of Amazon dumps that are probably going to show up within 30 days of the filming of this for the holidays. So I hope you guys learned something. Biggest takeaway from this video, everybody. Number one, I believe the Magic 30th anniversary for $1,100, this little box for 4 booster packs, is the beginning of secret lair pseudo products that are going to be randomized complete sets sold direct to consumer. Secret lairs right now are essentially they take a couple cards, they milk the whole market, and they sell them for $50 to $100 a piece, and they capture their own secondary market value, pay an artist a couple $100s to make it, and they just make a ton of money. But I think the next wave is going to be complete new randomized sets. Like a Dominaria remastered, a Kamigawa remastered, Mirrodin remastered, some sort of remastered type of specialty product sold direct from corporate. I believe that's the next future in prediction of things. That's all I have to say. Hope you guys learned something. As always, it is still a beautiful world out there. I know we're all angry, negative, and rawr, I hate you, you hate me. Which side are you on? Good. Hate everybody on this. I understand that's the world we're in, but again, I remind everybody, we are all human meat popsicles, and I would say 99.69% of all of us watching this channel and listening are actually really good people. So you got to be careful to make sure that small percentage of people don't make you overly angry and bitter on your own perspective and don't apply that to everybody. Because again, most distributors, most LGSs, most players, collectors, the 3% beautiful ladies, the evil investors, everyone's good people, and in my experience in this world, I'm in my late 30s, and in my experience, most people are good people. But you're always going to have a few bad people that make you hate the world. And I encourage everyone to try to not be around that toxic behavior, because it will cause you more harm than just being upset. It takes you down a bad path. And I don't think that's healthy for anybody. I think when things are healthy, people are happy and moving forward. When we all work together in an ecosystem, I think we all win better. I think we all enjoy and have more fulfilling lives. We enjoy our hobbies, our family, our health, and our wealth for the future. Other than that, here is a picture of my penis, and have a beautiful day, everybody.